We are live.
We are on. We are on.
We are popping. We are live. So this is actually one of our first podcasts. We're going to take it kind of serious right now. Just kick everything off. What's going on, everybody? My name's Angelo.
My name is Calvin.
We are the VisionTwins, and we lost a combined 300 pounds.
Now it is our life mission to show the entire world how to do the same thing. In today's video, we are here at Skyline High School with our boy, Chris Diaz from El Cajon, Box City, representing.
Hey,
it's been like, oh, go ahead. No,
I was just going to say thanks for having me. It's been like what?
6 months since we like actually came here and filmed the video. That's like when we moved here. But everything was just so different then. Now it's like, you know, we're connecting back with our San Diego-ness and
with our San Diego-ness. We've been talking about filming this for a while now, huh?
Yeah, since literally the day you guys got here, but we just been on different schedules, but I'm glad we got everybody here together. So
yeah, well, hey, let's go ahead and kick this thing off, man. So, you know, a lot of stuff's been going on in our life, and I'm sure in your life as well. You just super busy, things happening. How you doing right now, man? How's everything going?
Doing well. Just I'm so tired. Like I've been back-to-back trips, been on the Nike YBL, Dallas, Atlanta, and then, you know, we had a little break, which is in June, which is kind of the time where I'm supposed to just relax, vacation. But then I went on a trip to the DR with my boy Zach, and that was pretty cool. We're there for a few days, and then it's just been back-to-back, and now AAU, and we got recruits coming in for
Skyline. So sorry to interrupt, but you're a basketball coach, right? Or like an AAU. It's like, what's your, for the people that don't know who you are, you know, what is it?
Yeah, so I used to be a former college basketball coach for about 6-7 years, and kind of got upset with like kind of the pay and the demand of the hours of, you know, that kind of work. But I still love helping out kids and helping them go to college and do different things and using basketball to get ahead in life. So I kind of transitioned now to the high school side, where now I'm running this Skyline Prep Academy, where we have kids all the way from second grade all the way to high school that we're building up, teaching them how to use basketball to move ahead, teaching them the right curriculum, fundamentals. And my job is just kind of the GM of the whole thing, just making sure we have coaches, we have a curriculum, just making sure they're busy. So
yeah, that's what's up. So it's not too much stress on you, or is it a lot of stress?
Nah, like I used to coach junior college basketball, and like when you coach at that level, at the JUCO level, like you kind of do everything.
You experience the high school, you experience you're at NBA, you experience everything in between at the JUCO level. So
yeah, because like at the JUCO level, like when you think of college basketball or any college athletics, you think of like your big schools, like your LSUs, your U of A's, and those schools you have an academic counselor, you have a dietitian, you have all these people on staff.
The resources are already there.
Yeah, you have every single resource that you can imagine. And when you're an assistant coach or a coach at that level, you have a little bit more support. You have extra people to guide you with. But when you're coaching JUCO, you're all of that. You're the janitor, you're the tutor, you're the coach, you're the counselor, and like
scheme, game plan, like
and travel. And as a young coach at the time, like that's a lot of experience. I was wearing so many different hats. I got to recruit. I got to
thrown into the fire though.
Yeah, I got thrown into the fire. And, you know, I made a lot of mistakes, but I got to learn, and it kind of helped me with this role, because I had to do all the paperwork, had to do recruiting, and running an academy is kind of essentially the same thing. You know, basketball is basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing with what we do over here on VisionTwins. It's like we're everything, bro. We're the janitors. Like we set up the live streams. You saw me just setting up the podcast for like the last 30 minutes. You know, it's like, you know, when you run your own thing or when you're doing something for yourself that like you have an attachment to it, like you take it pretty serious. You know what I mean? And if it fails, it's on you. And so it's like,
you got to bet on yourself. Like I always bet on myself. I'd rather, you know, go the extra mile for myself. But even if I know if it fails, I know that I did it and I can learn from my mistakes. And I feel like there's no failures in life. Everything's a learning lesson. So just got to keep it moving. You figure out a way to revamp it and just keep going.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like a lot with, like I said, what we do here at VisionTwins. It's, you know, a lot of trial and error, and everything that we do is kind of like graded back on us. So if we don't have a video that does well, you know, you get instant feedback on that. Or like if, you know, you just had a bad promotion, or people weren't signing up or something like that. Like it's always back on ourselves. And so I think it's really cool that, you know, coming from where we came from, we found a way to make our success fully dependent on ourselves and not on anybody else. And real quick,
even though that does come with like still learning how to have resources, like, you know, basically working for ourselves at 21, but like, you know, out in the world and getting after it, you know, like as entrepreneurs. So
there's no blueprint. There's no blueprint in this life. Like I remember when I was younger, I used to think like you got to do this and then do that, and then by this age you're supposed to be at this part. Like,
right.
No, there's no blueprint in this world. Like, it's your own race. Run your own race. And like, I remember, oh my God, when I was younger, it would just kill me so much because I would look at other people. I'm like, dang, he's my same age and he's already doing this. And but then, like, you know, you once you get a little bit older, you tend not to think about those things, and kind of makes the road a little bit easier. But like, my biggest thing is just surrounding yourself with who you're with, because if you're with somebody, you got a whole bunch of friends that are go-getters and being successful and doing all these types of things, that you're naturally going to gravitate towards that and just keep growing as a group. And then you got one friend winning is going to motivate the next person, and then somehow, some way, maybe your businesses or ideas can somehow collaborate.
Right. You know, that's a big thing, dude. Like, coming from where we come from, you know what I mean, El Cajon, California, there's not too many people that are out there, like, on social media doing things, or like just in general doing something for themselves or for their life. And it's really cool when you make it out of a situation like that. It's like, oh, okay, these guys are doing something with their life. You know what I mean? And when I got up in the same thing. I'm sure Calvin and I, when we were, 16 years old, 17 years old, looking at guys getting the recruiting for football or getting the offers, or, the linemen that we go to the camps with and we see them get an offer at the camp, and like, you're at the same camp and you didn't get an offer. It's like, damn, like, I must be trash, So that whole self-guilt thing really comes in. But I think one of the biggest things that I've come to realize too is, instead of comparing ourselves, look at how you started. You know what I mean? Look where you first came from. And I was comparing things back to elementary school. So like, for us, we weren't the pretty kid or the cute kid. We were the fat kids. We were the chubby kids. So like, I always said,
jerking, still taking girls at Parkway.
Wow.
I always said, like, I'm going to be a late bloomer. Like, I'm going to be, like, I'm not going to be blooming in high school. Like, this isn't my peak. Or like, there's always a saying I said to myself, when you're an ugly kid, when you're an ugly kid, you're going to be pretty as an adult. And if you're a pretty kid, you're going to be ugly as an adult. And I kind of feel like that's true. You know what I mean?
Low key.
Like, everybody that was bad as a kid, like, ended up turning into
good, like,
no, ugly. I'm saying bad, like, fine. Like, they started off cute, but then, like, as you get older and you start seeing the world more and you're seeing people that are like cuter, you're like, damn, that was my crush. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, like, I used to think you were the baddest, and now it's like, I feel better. At least in my perspective, because we came a long way from where we were. But
yeah, a lot of people I've realized, like, out of high school and like out of college, like, they tend to blow up as far as like weight wise.
Yeah, like,
I don't know what it is. Like, after college, I guess their diets or work comes into play, not enough free time or stress. I don't know. But I've seen a lot of people increasing their weight. So what would you recommend to people coming out of college? They, I don't know. You guys didn't really go to college like that. But
I did go to college low key, like growth spot 3.
A 4 year.
I went to JUCO for like 3 years though.
Not
like,
the dumb
I went for a minute.
Not the dumb college, Calvin.
Yeah, I went
JUCO in a 4 year is a little bit different, because at a 4 year you have all these on campus restaurants. I remember when I got to GCU my freshman year, and coming from like, I was just coming off that phase from the Jack in the Box code, right? Where I was going to Jack in the Box all the time. But that food got a little bit boring after a while. Yeah. 2-3 months later, I'm starting GCU, and at GCU we have Chick-fil-A on campus. We got like an Italian restaurant.
Right,
we got
there.
a Qdoba. We got all these restaurants on there, and you have these meal swipes. And to me, like, I didn't know anything about college. Like,
Do you remember anything from college in your classes?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Like paperwork.
A little bit. No, not really. I mean,
not much.
It was cool. It was cool, but
a lot of it.
No, you were saying about the food and like coming out of schools. You're getting him off track.
Yeah,
get back on this point. Go ahead.
Man, yeah, you made me figure my.
No, you were talking about fast food and like after
fast food, meal swipes.
But yeah. So I mean, coming from El Cajon and not being able to eat like the best meals all the time, to going to college and having all that accessible every day. Man, I was a kid. I was a kid at the candy store.
Right.
I'd go to Chick-fil-A at lunch, go to Qdoba for like dinner, and then grab like some type of dessert later. And I'll do that the whole year. And coming into college, I was a pretty fit kid. Like, I don't know if you guys remember.
I remember.
Yeah, you're lean.
And then after my freshman year, I do my blood work every year just to check all my vitals and everything. My cholesterol shot through the roof,
right?
Bro.
All that sodium and fast food.
Yeah, because I did a whole year, and then as a college kid, I was like, man, this ain't this ain't right. And I was still like kind of
freshman 10.
Yeah, no,
15.
I got
Or
the,
freshman 15, is that
like
what it's called?
Yeah, I got like the freshman 20 because I also had surgery my freshman year, so I was in a sling for half my freshman year. I tore my shoulder, so I had that going on. I was eating junk food, so it was just all types of bad.
So when it comes to I think you had a question though. When it comes to somebody who wants to lose weight coming out of college, what would my advice be?
Yeah, coming out of college, because a lot of them probably have ate a lot of junk food. Right now, they're transitioning to the workforce after being in college for however many years, and that switches because in college you have a few classes a day. Maybe you're doing study hall, but then when you get to the workforce, you most likely have a 9 to 5 or whatever you're doing, and you're just entering. You're on your own. It's a lot of stress coming out. So maybe you can't even squeeze a gym anymore. Maybe you can't. Maybe you don't have that extra time to cook, to meal prep. So you're going out to fast food now. So how can those people get back on track or get focused or create a plan?
Yeah, so that's crazy. It's crazy to think about because, like you mentioned, we didn't have like a university experience at all. Like, I went to Grossmont for 3 years. You know what I mean? Like, I was D1 bound still. You know what I mean? Like, but when it comes to, I wanted to be a 5th grade teacher. So when it comes to what my advice be to somebody who is just getting out of college, really have to learn to grow up quick. You have to learn to grow up quick. You know what I mean? It sucks. I mean, find a roommate, whatever you can. But
adulting.
Yeah, you have to do a lot of adulting. It's like a common term, but like, man, I started paying rent at my house when I was 17. Like, really, I don't see an excuse for anybody to, like, oh, my college made me big or made me fat, or, my parents made me fat. Like, really,
your responsibility went away. You got left to your own orders. So you decided, hey, like, I can eat whatever I want now. No one's telling me I can't go to fast food every day. Like, if you came home with fast food every day at home, like, you'd be like, your mom would be like, stop going to fast food.
Yeah, your mom would tell you, be like, what? Your mom, if you came home every day, imagine if you're still living with your parents, like, I mean, you would want to show them that, like, hey, at least I'm trying, you know what I mean? I'm doing my best, like, stay
I'm not
healthy,
just spending my money on shit, You
would want to do that for your parents if your parents was around. So, like, treat yourself like that, you know what I mean? I see myself like, if my mom was here right now, would she want me to be big, overweight, you know what I mean, fat? What kind of example would I be showing her? Like, man, you worked all that time, mom. You worked that whole time, like 18 years for me to live.
Just for me to go off.
Just for me to go off and fuck around. Like, just for me to go fuck it all off. Like, that's the biggest slap in the face to my mama. Like, I just couldn't. Don't disrespect your parents. That's
some real advice. Go ahead.
That's some real shit.
So, no, that's some real advice for sure. Yeah. But, like, let's say they lost themselves, which a lot of people do. Yeah. How can they reverse that effect?
Absolutely. So, yeah, if you're in that position where you're going to fast food every day, first you have to realize that your excuse for why you're doing it is wrong. So a lot of times, when we're that age or, young 20s or whatever, we think if we can go get fast food because it's cheap. Bro, I went to McDonald's the other day. I was doing DoorDash, going through the line. McChicken's like $3, $4 or something like that. I'm like, bro, this is not cheap. Yeah. You know what I mean?
People try to defend fast food. People try to defend fast food like it's just not. Like, it's just what it is. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's not in a harsh way. Like, no matter what, sometimes it may be hard to hear. Like, some people don't like to hear the truth, but it's like,
Bro, no, fast food is not cheap anymore. It's starting to get onto the point where it's like you might as well go out to eat to dinner. Like, so I realized, okay, first of all, if I'm going to use my money and I'm thinking about losing weight, like I want to lose weight and I say I do. Okay, well, first I have to look at my actions. And first off, I have to start calling myself out on my BS. When I say I want to go lose weight, but I'm getting Chipotle, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you could say you want to lose weight, but if you're going and eating that food, it's fake, quote unquote, healthy, but
you're not taking the time to go out. And that's the thing with losing weight. It should be fun, bro. If you find yourself lost,
bro.
How I find myself out of that place is, bliss is priority. And that's even the drop to these shirts right here. It's a shameless plug. Bliss is priority. So realizing that how I feel is number one. Like,
always
fuck what anybody else thinks. Like, how I feel is number one. Like, I love my bliss. Like, when people say ignorance is bliss, I mean, just not caring is bliss. Like, bro, yes, like, that is if you don't have to think about me for a long time so that you can be happy and like be, experience your bliss, do that. You know what I mean? Like, that is number one. So first I had to come to the terms of like, okay, what am I trying to portray? The message I want people to understand about me is like, bliss is priority. Like, how you feel is everything. So like, when you feel good, you want to go out and lose weight. You know what I mean? You want to go out and do cool things. You want to go if you want to be an entrepreneur, you can go out and be an entrepreneur. Like, if that's what feels right to you and it feels good, then do that. You know what I mean? Like, for us to sit down and do this podcast feels right, feels good, do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you're going to reap the benefits from it. Like,
fast food though, that's a quick like happiness. You know what I mean? It's like quick, temporary good feeling because everybody knows as soon as you eat fast food, you never feel good afterwards, bro. That's the game of fast food, you guys. Like, people don't realize it's a trap. It's sure, like, you can indulge in and have a good time and enjoy some fast food every once in a while, but like, most people don't do that. Most people go 2-3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week to fast food, and you're always gonna feel bad. You always wonder why you don't feel good. Look at what you're eating. Look at literally what's going inside of your body. Like, if I gave you a bunch of pills every day and I didn't tell you what the pills were, but you took them and at the end of every week you felt terrible, you'd be like, bro, stop giving me those pills. Like, I'm not taking those pills no more. I don't know what it is. It could have been.
You told me it was good.
You told me it was good. It was all this and that and the third, but then I got it and I took it and I felt terrible afterwards. And people do that. People don't even question or think why they eat the fast food. You didn't realize you weren't hungry until you saw that commercial. You weren't hungry until you saw that advertising. You weren't hungry until
thinking about food.
Until Carl's Jr. slaps all the 7 ingredients of a burger and drops it, and it's like, man.
Now.
Like, oh shoot, maybe I do want a burger. No, you don't, bro.
Them commercials be crazy because they show you one thing, then you pull up. And I'm like, damn, I'm expecting the same thing.
Yeah,
a little burger is like
burgers
this
just
big.
fly down to the
Yeah, bro. That's how the game is. So the mission for these companies, the fast food companies, it's not about your health, bro. People think like, oh, I'm gonna go in certain restaurants. I want to say they are good. Like certain places that are genuinely healthy, they have like fresh cooked chicken, fresh grass-fed beef. Like those restaurants, I feel like are gonna survive in the future. But
you got to pay the price though.
You got to pay the price, and it costs more to eat that. But you also got.
But it's worth it though, because in the long run,
right? You're not going to get your heart checked for clogged arteries, or you're not.
You can eat Chipotle for 3 days. You know what I mean? If you get one order, it costs more, but you can, if you space it out, you could eat that. 2 days, really.
Even think about it like this: you go to weigh yourself, you feel better after you weigh yourself and eating something healthy than if you weigh yourself and eating something bad. You're always like.
You're more confident getting on the scale. Like, if you want that confidence, like, start eating healthy. Yeah.
Pay the price. Pay the price of what it takes to feel that good. And now we always tell people you don't have to pay anything to lose weight.
Yeah, you don't have to pay
You could virtually lose weight 100% for free.
The price, and the crazy thing, the craziest thing about it all is that the price is free. Like, the price to pay to lose weight is so free. It's not even funny. Like, to change your life, like when people say the feeling is free.
You're already buying the food. You're already going and spending groceries.
The best things in life are free.
You already.
It's not a lie. Like,
you're already going to go to the grocery store. You're already going to go out to eat. Okay, if I'm going to go out to eat and I want to lose weight, I have to go eat something that's going to help me lose weight. So if I'm going to McDonald's and ordering, 2 chicken sandwiches, a large fry, and a drink, we can all know that's not going to help you out with losing weight, no matter what.
Next time you get on that scale, you're gonna think about.
You're gonna be mad.
You're gonna be in trouble
if you hold yourself to a standard, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. A lot of people don't hold themselves to a standard of what they should look like. Growing up, and this is part of it, why we were raised by our mom.
And I want to kind of ask you too, how were you raised when it comes to how you're eating? Because we grew up in the same neighborhood, same city, and we grew up extremely overweight. You grew up kind of like scrawny. What was that?
Malnourished. I mean, it was just hard because my mom would cook some food, and I honestly just did not like it. Did not like her food. Just wouldn't eat it. But it was
Salvadorian food.
At the time, I didn't like it.
Tripping.
But it was just some. My mom would, and I credit her. She was working 2 jobs and was trying to just provide the best for us. But like now, I get it as an adult. Like, she was just coming home from work, like a long day of work, and then she got to cook for 2 badass little kids. And, she'd just make whatever was quick. And, I really wasn't messing with it. I've always been a picky eater still to this day. So I just wouldn't eat. And my mom would be like, all right, if y'all not going to eat, then I'm not going to cook. She would just leave some stuff out there. And, we would just figure it out. But, like, I don't know. I just had a fast metabolism as a youth and always kept busy. So I don't think that's why I gained any weight. But when I got to college, though, that's when my metabolism stopped.
Slowed down like a motherfucker. Woo. Everybody think they can eat like how they used to as a kid, and then you get older and you realize, I cannot eat the same way.
Because I was eating the same way without nearly working out. Because when I was in high school, man, I was working out like crazy. I was playing football, basketball, would practice with the track team, practice with the cross country team, do boxing. Like played volleyball. I was super active.
Standout student.
I was a powder puff coach. Like, I was trying to do all types of stuff just to not be home and to get free food some somewhere from the school.
That's so yeah. Was that kind of looking back on it? That's crazy. Was that the reason why you were always out, bro? Like just so you wouldn't be home, type shit.
Basically, because at home, like there was either like a lot of family problems or like nothing else to do. Like I just wanted to escape all that, and like basketball and doing all these other activities were just my outlet. Like for me, I like to surround myself with positivity, and like at the time, like in the little cul-de-sac I grew up, and kind of like the street, there's a lot of like bad things going on, like a lot of, I don't know, just not the best things, you know, a high school kid should be doing. So I just tried to get away from all that by using sports. So that's why now, like fast forward 10 years now, like I'm trying to help the youth like use these sports, because, you know, a lot of people play sports, football, basketball, whatever, but they don't really know the why, right? And I didn't know the why either as a high school kid. Like I was just doing it just to do it. Like it got me girls. Like it got me traveling a little bit. Got me some gear. Like
Right.
I was doing it for the wrong reasons. But like now that I look back at it, I'm like, damn, thank God I played basketball. Why? I know how to work with a team. I know how to listen to authority. I know how to set a schedule. I know how to, you know, do all types of different
Know your
things.
role.
Know my role.
Yeah.
And how to like
That's
deal with
so
stuff
true.
under pressure and play in front of a crowd. And you know, I remember we had to dress up on like game days. Like I never wore a suit and tie before that. You know, like I remember when I first made varsity, our first varsity home game. Like I had to go to the thrift store to go get a suit and tie. Like I didn't have that in my wardrobe. That just wasn't me.
You don't think about those things until like when you're in the moment. You think everything's just bullshit, bro. Like and that's with life, bro. Like a lot of the times we just question why we're going through the things we're going through, but you know, most of the time we needed to experience whatever it was that we were going through.
I forgot about a suit and tie, bro. Like I don't even think I own a suit and tie right now. Like or any type of dress shit. I need to get some dress stuff.
You need to. You need to.
Give me a nice little
like,
t-shirt.
Like it's crazy though. I learned how to tie my first tie because my dad wasn't really around during my high school time. So that was really the time when I needed to like kind of have a father figure and stuff, but I didn't have it. But like being on the basketball team and having to wear a suit and tie made me teach myself how to tie a tie. You know, and that's been a little trade that I've carried with me forever. Like if it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't have known how to tie a tie. And it's crazy because I go to a lot of business meetings, conferences, and I have to wear a tie or something of similar apparel. And because of that little small experience, I know how to dress for that occasion. So it's just crazy how everything ties in and
ties in.
God just has a big plan for us, and we might not see it right now, but when you fast forward 2-3 years later, you're gonna be like, oh, that's why that so-and-so or that happened. And it's just crazy how it all connects. Yeah, bro, always. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know.
No, that's 100%. I'm going to take a pause just to make sure everything is good, and then we'll get back to it.
Man, so Chris, if you guys didn't know, Chris has a Tesla. And
that's it.
And we're from the same city, and a Tesla's actually been my dream car for a very long time now. I'm so happy that you have it because it's such, you know, from the same city, like, and we're in the same place right now. Like, it's amazing. You know, I mean, you get it. But, like,
for sure.
Like, bro, I just want to know, like, I feel like the only reason we learned a lot through, like, this past situation that we went through of, like, having negative energy around and, like, just keeping it positive energy. And, you know, as of recently, Angela and I have, like, made a pact to not be smoking, like, to stop smoking and stop smoking weed, to stop smoking in general. And I feel like for a long time, that was, like, you know, God was withholding those things from my life because, like, I was still addicted to those things, right? Because I was still addicted to it, basically.
Smoking or with anything, bro, there's always some type of distraction. Everybody has a distraction, right? Whether it's smoking, video games, whatever your addiction is. I feel like all those things are just distractions that are put out to, you know, I think on a very, very, very deep level a lot. And I spend a lot of alone time. And I just think about stuff like that, like, okay, you know, going out to parties and all that stuff is really just all distractions. You know, you can say the same thing about smoking. And, you know, when you look at the people at the top, right? A lot of people at the top, if you realize, if you go, let's say you go ask a successful person for advice, a lot of successful people will either A, be more than willing to help you out, or B, be on the completely end of the spectrum, be like, nah, like this is my money, like I ain't letting nobody take it, right? So I know that's why they have distractions to keep people from getting to that top level. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? So for me, it's just thinking on a different spectrum. Like, okay, well, I know that this is already a distraction. There's a reason why a lot of people are doing this. There's a reason why, like, I even look at the NBA and watching the NFL and stuff like that. That's also distractions too. Like if you look back to time in the Roman Empire, like there was all the same stuff.
Yeah,
like that, right?
entertainment,
The circus,
entertainment.
The circus was entertainment to keep people distracted from what's really going on in this planet, right?
Yeah.
So like that's the way I look at it, and you know, for me, like I feel like my calling right now is just to help the youth, help the next generation, right? I feel like I try to do that in a bunch of different ways. So anything that I could do, any idea or thought that involves that, I try to push forward, right? And I just know if I put others, you know, it always comes back. But it's not even about it coming back to me. Like it's about just giving back and just, you know, letting them inspire the next group or the next person and just keep going. Because it just takes one person to make a change.
Yeah, doing the right thing. No, I like what you said, though, about the NFL draft and, like, the NBA draft and all this entertainment and
it's crazy because I work in entertainment, I work in sports, but all that's just really a distraction, man. When it comes down to it,
it's a kid's game.
Yeah, it's really what it is, and you know, you just got to lay a foundation of what you really want to do in this life. Like, what are your ultimate goals? Like for me, I just want to leave something behind where my grandkids and their grandkids can be like, oh, that's what great grandpa Chris did. You know. I don't know exactly what that is, you know. 25, about to turn 26 soon. I'm still not even at my peak or at my what's it called? What's the word I'm talking about?
Potential.
It's peak max. Yeah, nobody's really ever at their max potential, but like
I'm not even in my prime yet.
Not even in your prime.
I'm not even in my prime yet. You know,
yeah, right.
You're in your prime around. I watch a little bit of Andrew Tate. You know, he's a little bit controversial.
He's 30. When he was in his last year, I think he was 35, 36. He was going crazy.
Yeah, so. But look, he said something. I saw this on an Instagram reel. Somebody sent it to me. He was talking about a guy's
timeline.
A guy's his biggest worth is between the ages of like 30 to 35, and the female's worth is between 20 to 23 or something like that.
Well, it depends on like whatever you're looking for, but
I say up
dating
to
like, or like girls or something like that. But
no. But I'm saying going back to
cyclical,
that. Yeah, a guy's prime, according to Andrew Tate, he said from 30 to 35. That's when you're going to be in your most fit, you're in your best financial status.
Right.
You look the best. That's what I'm referring to. And a girl is 20 to 25.
Yeah.
Right? That's why you see all these older guys dating these younger girls, because these older rich dudes can afford to, you know, be with these younger girls or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Money time travels.
Yeah.
Time travels.
It does. So like, I don't know, as young male, like we're still far from our potential. Still don't know exactly what, you know, I got a different couple things that we're working on that I'm excited about. But you know, one person I really look up to is Mark Cuban, man. He's the GOAT in the sports business world. Like he's on Shark Tank. He's the owner of the Mavericks. You know, it's several different businesses, and that's kind of what I like. I like how he has his hands tied in a lot of different pots. Like for me, like I used to be a basketball skills trainer, right? And for a while, like, you know, it was cool. I was working out NBA guys and doing all that stuff, but then it got annoying. Like people would just hit me up just to train. I'm like, man, I'm more than just a trainer.
Right.
Like I'm not just a skills trainer. Like,
right.
Talk about
that's
life.
cool. No disrespect.
I
to
could
them.
do it.
Yeah, I could do it. No disrespect to them, but like I know I can do other things too. Like I can help you with your social media. I can help you with your business plans, whatever podcast. You know, like I can offer so much more value. So that's why I kind of stepped away from the coaching and skills training route. I haven't really announced it publicly. Like this is the first time I'm talking about it on camera. Why I kind of stepped away from that. But you know, just trying to do more than one thing, help as many people as I can, and just grow and meet people and travel. Yeah. So
I know we were talking about it earlier at the house. One thing that just comes to mind is San Diego. You know, we're all from San Diego, all born and raised in San Diego. Really, kind of the basis of our whole conversation. You know, we've had Angela and I have been thinking about, okay, what do we really want out of life, right? Like
die in San Diego.
Yeah, I want to live. Like, what's the goal, right? What's the goal? What do we really want to do?
Spray me over Mission Beach, put me in the sand, and put my ashes in the box on the jetty.
For real, keep it in the jetty, like in the spray painted box. But anyway, like our life goal is like, okay, if we're gonna, you know, live our best life, right? What would that look like? And it's like, man, that's to live and die in San Diego. You know what I mean? Like like real shit. So, thinking about it, like, where do you see within the next couple of years? Do you see yourself going back to San Diego and living there? Considering with, what you got going on right now. You don't have to obviously go into the whole plan, but like eventually, like, we trying to go back to Dago or what? Like,
that's the goal, man. I would love to retire in San Diego.
Retire?
Yeah, retire.
Okay.
You wouldn't live in your late 20s
in the midtime?
Why I can't retire in my late 20s?
Oh,
right?
I feel it.
I mean, for me, like, I want to build all these things up. Currently building up Skyline, building up some other businesses that are outreaching to, but like, I want to build it to the point where it could be self-sustained without me. Like, if I was to step away,
right,
it could still sustain its machine flowing.
Even better or more.
Or it should be better. When I leave, it should be better. Like, it's not about me. It's about the community, the players,
right,
everybody involved.
Growing it.
I just want to be one little fish. And really, like, when I say I'm building, I really mean we. Like, we have a great support staff. Like, it's not just me. I can't take any credit on what's going on with anything that I got going. I'll never take credit for anything. I feel like nothing in this world is self-made because someone maybe, like, even though I didn't get a direct piece of advice from you, I can learn from something that you guys did or from someone else or whoever, like, or someone down the line gave me some piece of knowledge to help me out. Like,
you still applied yourself though.
Yeah, of course.
It took two people to make you, mom and dad.
That is true. I'm just a product from the city, man. Like, I feel like if I didn't grow up where I grew up in El Cajon, California, like, I don't know, I probably wouldn't have the same drive. But growing up where we grew, you just get a drive, man. And every time I go back, like, I just scratch my head. I'm like, oh my God, like,
they need us, bro.
So beautiful. They need us there. That's what I'm saying. Like, we just need to go. Even if we just did this there, like, that's better than, you know what I mean? Like, that's a crazy thing to think about.
Hey, bro, why are we building up somewhere else? That's what I always think.
That's
like, why am I starting something that, like, I love, where I'm at in my journey and traveling and everything. But anytime I go to these cities, I'm like, okay, Miami, Arizona, St. Louis, Texas, like, it's just
cool.
It's cool, but it's not home.
Not Dago.
It's not home. It's not home. But
that's not what I should be growing. You know?
No, I definitely want to get back to San Diego eventually at some point. But I still want to travel around this whole world. I want to hit every continent, country at least once.
We'll be doing that.
And try to do some type of basketball camp or foundation. I got this idea from my aunt. She has a nonprofit. It's called 14 Angels. It's an El Salvador nonprofit where she goes to El Salvador and helps kids who are disabled, like, get medical treatment. Because back then, before my aunt started this nonprofit, they only had one hospital in the whole country. Mm-hmm. Imagine one hospital in the whole country, bro. The country, one children's hospital, right? And the reason why she started is because her son came out, disabled, and she grew up in El Salvador. She moved here when she was in her early 20s. So imagine if she would have raised that child in El Salvador, he would have no medical support.
Right. Yeah.
So she started that nonprofit, and I like to say she did camps over there, but she did, like, that's my language, but she did little, big events over there and gave out backpacks and just did a lot for the community and got another couple hospitals built out. So, like, seeing that just gave me the idea, like, man, I want to go to different countries and, like, give out basketballs, help grow the game. Mm-hmm. Like, we just came back from the DR, and they play basketball a lot different there. Basketball is basketball, but there's a different style, right? And, like, it was so cool to, like, kind of teach them how we do how we play basketball here in the States, because everybody over there wants to come here. This is the main hub for basketball. So I was able to show them some drills and show the coaches some things that we do here. So now, even though, like, I was there for 4 or 5 days, and that's gonna last. And let's be honest, like, that's not enough time to impact the kid, right? But I was able to give some tidbits to the coaches, and now they're the ones that are going to be with the guys 24/7, right? They're the ones that are going to be able to make an impact.
Tell them the real thing.
So for us to be able to pass knowledge to the coaches, which then passes to them, like, it's crazy. Like, that's the goal, man. We want to keep going. If anybody got a country where they want us to stop by, like, let us know. We're mobile. We're right there.
That's what's up. But yeah, man, I think that's a good point to end the podcast. And we'll do another one too very soon. But this is cool to get you on, bro, and just talking. I think we could do a lot more with this and, have some fun talking about topics. And we didn't even get into, like, how we grew up, where, like, what is the place that we grew up from, El Cajon, just life in general. We have so much stuff to talk about, but it was really cool to get on the podcast, bro, and just finally rip one out that we've been talking about for months with you. So
no, we finally got it done. We just getting started, though.
It's real. This is
excited,
bro. You already know, bro.
Yeah.
All right, then, bro. Appreciate it,
Yeah.
dog.
Looking,
All right, you guys. Let's go ahead and do an outro on this camera.
Thank you guys for watching, and as always, don't wait, lose weight. We out, baby. Oh, mic drop.